Hey Techthusiasts, I just wanted to put something out there, so call this one kind of a channel update. What's been going on around the household, what's been going on around any home theater and AV stuff this last week. If you've been paying attention to the channel, you know I've very consistently been delivering videos Mondays and Fridays. I had kicked off what was really turning out to be quite a well-received micro vlog, short kind of thing. I had put out umpteen of those already, and then everything in life kind of hit a grinding halt. So hey, these things happen, but Thanksgiving was really nice. We spent it with the family, split the day between mine and my wife's family. We did our annual cutting of our Christmas tree, went to the local Christmas tree farm with some friends, had a good time doing that, came back Friday, did some decorating, and then man, I woke up middle of the night, 2 a.m.-ish or whatever, sometime I think it was, late in Friday evening, Saturday morning, and I could feel my stomach was turning. Something was not sitting well. Something was not sitting right. And from about 5 a.m. For the preceding next 10 hours, I spent about as much time in the bathroom as I did laying in bed. Had a fever all day. I never even left my bedroom on Saturday. Some kind of stomach bug. It just absolutely waylaid me. So that took out our whole long holiday weekend. Other plans and other things that would have been nice to do at that time, just gone. And it's taken me all the way basically until several days later, the end of the week, before I was even able to like look at a plate of food, eat a good plate of food and feel happy and content doing it, versus like it just turning my stomach. I don't know if there's any truth to the idea that nowadays, after a couple years of COVID and all this kind of stuff, when we get sick, man, it hits harder. Maybe I'm just getting older, I don't know. The next night, my daughter caught the same bug. My wife has been down this week a couple days, not feeling well, seemingly with some kind of a flu. And this is hot on the heels of our household basically having had a cold rip through it, not once, but twice in rapid succession, and hardly any reprieve in between. I think we need to like fumigate this place, like bug bomb it or something. I don't know. But hopefully we can all recover here and kick all these germs and all these bugs out of the household and get on with more fun, more important and better things. So I hope you're doing well out there. All I hear around like social circles and networks and other folks at work is like how sick everybody is. They've got this cold, they got that flu, they got this bug, COVID, things still circulating around there. So I hope you're doing well. And if your households are suffering from similar illnesses and constant cycling, good luck. I hope you're able to find your way out of it, much the same that I hope that we can as well. So as such, like I've literally just been feeling queasy for many days straight now. Certainly wasn't in any position to want to talk very much, get on and do a live stream, a podcast this past week. And quite honestly, I haven't messed around or really played with or done much of anything for the better part of a week between all of the illness and just the family focus and the other things going on around the Thanksgiving holiday. So pretty much my system and the things that I was doing, it is what it was since the last of the micro vlogs. Of course, all the NAD amps are in. I can make a couple of statements and observations though. These things are absolutely fantastic. I think they've been an upgrade to the Parasounds in the way my system works and performs and stuff in every way. So addressing kind of some of the questions that I've seen in the comments and maybe some of the things people are looking for some updated and ongoing feedback on. NAD, the amp upgrade, separating the living room to its own devices and amplification, and then having the M28s down below. The rooms are quiet and it's just fantastic. I'm ecstatic to have been able to do that upgrade. Again, in every way, highly recommend these if you're shopping for some powerful, clean, detailed, accurate, and all that types of amplifiers. As we go forward into 2024, I'm actually getting more kind of intrigued to check out maybe some more things from NAD. I've mentioned the M66, and we'll see what happens if there ends up being some kind of a new M17 or home theater preamplifier type device announced or released as well. The PC is still going strong up there. So that's one of the things that I've been kind of the gaming side, been excited to make a little bit of content about. PlayStation controllers just working excellently on PC. I do have the PlayStation still installed as well. I actually had been intending to go ahead and return it again and stay home basically with PC gaming. Yet again, with these two things faced off against each other. But I just haven't had the wherewithal to bother to reset it and pull it out and take it back to the store. I would have liked to have done that in the November calendar month, but I didn't make it. So ultimately, my son and I spent some time looking at Ratchet and Clank. I had it on the PlayStation from before, and he took a really big interest in watching me play that game. And at his age, like perfect kind of game, father, son, two player, pass the controller back and forth. And I kind of came to an idea. I'm like, I really want to see what this game looks like on PC. So I went ahead and bought it. I found a discount code on CD Keys, installed it, and man, running that game, full 4K native resolution, turn on all the stuff, turn on graphical features and things that the PlayStation version doesn't have, run it at 90 FPS, almost 100 FPS I was able to get out of the 4090. Literally everything completely maxed out except just a couple of the ray tracing options, not set to their highest level, but just one tick back. And my goodness, it just looks and plays so fantastic. And the PlayStation controllers, Bluetooth to the PC on that high gain amplified antenna that I had mentioned in one of the micro vlogs, just working spectacular. We've not had a single DualSense Edge controller problem from the living room down here to the rack with that setup and that wireless connectivity. I still haven't fully tested it with a 4-player family gaming session. We've yet to be in a situation where all 4 members of the family feel well enough at the same time when we actually have some time to try to play a game. So, but we did, my son and I, we did reconnect all of the controllers, including the Xbox Elites, to the PC using Bluetooth instead of the Xbox wireless controller adapter and the Xbox wireless protocols. So we're kind of jonesing, my son and I, to do a 4-player family gaming for an hour or two and see, like, do these controllers stay connected. But we're actually almost done with the game. I think we're in the last 10% in terms of like percent progress. I think we're at like 92 or something like that, warming up for the final boss fight and having a good time with that. So I don't know what we'll play next, but we'll definitely be moving into some other games, I think, after that. As it is, we haven't even really, honestly, haven't even stepped foot in the theater room these last days. Any TV watching or whatever that we've done has largely been with everybody just crashed out on the couch. Part of it being, too, going down to the theater room, closing the door, spending a couple hours in there with less air circulation or less space, spreading germs, probably isn't the best choice for the family regardless. So no real movie watching, no real content or absorption or anything like that. Except for one, we did watch this Disney Plus Dashing Through the Snow. It was fun enough, a cute story, sweeter than a Christmas cookie. So around the holidays, the family really likes to go looking for holiday-themed movies. And over the last few years, we've really exhausted. It's hard to find a whole lot of good Halloween, Thanksgiving, and even Christmas movies. Everybody, at least now all the streaming services, everybody tries to knock out 1 or 2 Christmas specials. And we are very excited. I think it's Netflix or maybe HBO Max. I forget where, but there's a Bad Guys Christmas animated special coming, so we are excited to watch that one. But anyway, we're looking at some of the reviews. The reviews are like unanimously on all of these holiday streaming exclusive films are like downright terrible. But anyway, we watched it. We had fun with it. It had a couple laughs. It could have been a whole lot better. But that's been basically the one and only movie that we watched. But I was curious and intrigued anyway to watch it in the living room because, of course, we've got the NAD amplification powering its stuff up there. We've got the Anthem STR. When I got the NAD in, I had redone the Arc Genesis Cal for the living room, made a couple of tweaks to the subwoofers. They were a little bit overpowering for the room, shaking the walls and stuff a little bit too much. So I'm happy to say I think the audio in that room is running much better now. Absolutely fantastic. We cranked the movie up pretty good, clear, detail, some bass, not quite the bass level that we have in the theater room, of course, but it's still a very enjoyable movie watching experience nonetheless. As I go forward in the space with the channel and all that, I look forward to powering up the living room in many ways as much or even more than I look forward to powering up the theater, just because it's the space that we live in and we just use it so much more. It gets used almost every day. That's usually where we end up playing our video games and stuff like that because, man, gaming on an 83-inch LG OLED, could only be surpassed by gaming on a 97-inch LG OLED. That said, with regards to some other upgrades and some things that I had going on, I did send the email out to the folks at SVS. I'm going to go ahead and buy the pair of SB16s. I got the big box for one of them sitting next to me here. I just don't see any reason to bother sending them back. I will spin out a dedicated SB16 subwoofer review video coming up. I mean, subwoofers are a hard thing to get, put in, move around, box them back up, ship them back out. It's all palleted and everything like that. And I think those SB16s are just fantastic. They hit awesome. They sound great. They sound clean, detail, all the kind of things, all the virtues that I like in my system. Those subs are delivering. I love the app. The app works very well. ARC was able to integrate those subwoofers with the AVM90 just expertly so. And I just can't fathom any reason to bother even just taking the effort to box them up and send them back. They're here, and I'm completely happy to keep them in my possession. I do, in fact, still have the Arendal 1723 2S subwoofers available for sale. I've talked to probably close to maybe 10 different folks, at least several folks, about the prospect of buying them. Almost had one guy that was going to pick them both up and then decided not to. Possibly some local sales as well, which would be a lot nicer if I could get one. Nothing's come to fruition yet. I'm not too worried about it though. I figure if they sell, I will probably buy a second pair of SB16s, commonize the room on a quad system of SB16s for now, for the foreseeable future. And if the Arendals don't sell for a reasonable enough price, or at all for that matter, then I will keep them because they are also fantastic in their own way. So I win in either side of that equation. However it comes out, I'm completely happy and content with the decision. And further down the road, maybe we'll move into bigger subs and 18 inchers and different things like that. But I couldn't see why I need honestly to do anything else. So swapping the Arendals, one of the hottest questions in the comments, the topics is this SVS better than the Arendal? I would say that I think I'm taking a general preference towards the SVS. I'll talk about this in future content coming up. I think the app works a little more reliably, quite honestly. I like the fact that they have the power on lights that can come on, guarantee that everything is turned on like it's supposed to, and then they go off, they go dark. I like the idea of having one bigger driver rather than the dual setup and a couple of other things like that. But from a performance perspective, I think you could split hairs. You could go either way. Arendal did have their price increase hit, and I think these subwoofers went up by $100, and they're now like plus $100 from what they were. I think they were $23.99 before. Now they're $24.99. So $2,500. The SB16s are actually cheaper, and SVS gives you a deal. Just naturally, if you buy a pair of subwoofers, they discount a little bit more as well. So I think there's some cost efficiency perhaps in going the SVS route. But anybody I would have to imagine would be happy with either of these. And again, if they sell, they sell. If they don't, I'll keep using them until I have another idea, thought, change, or something, or more of a persistent forcing function that really motivates me to either take less money, sell them for less, and force them to move on from the system. I'm in kind of the same boat with the projector. I had put the JVC NX7 up for sale. I've had engagements and conversations with a number of folks. I even had a couple over to come over and look at it. They ended up buying an NX5 from somebody else instead. So my thought was, hey, let's sell the NX7 now. Go ahead and pick up an NZ7 until the next generation JVCs come. I was really kind of jonesing or interested in the new HDR tone mapping firmware, although early reports of the impactfulness of that firmware seem to be that it leaves a bit to be desired. So that's a little bit less of a draw. And I think this is another upgrade ultimately that I could probably take or leave. If I'm able to sell the NX7 to somebody that can really benefit from it, and I'm able to get the right amount of money for it to make all the numbers and everything line up, then hey, I'll go ahead and do the NZ7 upgrade. But if not, I'm content to sit on the NX7 until the real next generation JVCs actually come. And in fact, that's probably the smarter thing to do regardless, because selling the NX now, buying an NZ, selling the NZ to buy the NZ successor would end up probably draining more money out of my pocket in purchase and resale loss than just sitting on what I already have and being happy with it for a while and doing one sale and one new purchase coming up. So it's kind of like the same situation with the subwoofers. If the right logistics work out, the right deal works out, cool. If not, cool. I'm happy either way. Little camera microphone change there. Hadn't been making videos in a little while. Hadn't had the battery charged on the Sony camera that I largely use. So we're switching over to another device, my iPhone here midstream. But as I was saying, suffice to say, maybe I don't need the tone mapping improvements from the projector all that bad anyway. I really do expect there's some space here. There's some space for something. I'm really hoping that something could be providing tone mapping capabilities and improvements externally rather than needing to get them from the projector anyway. I'm not too worried about it. And I find myself in this loop as well, which one of the things that was driving me to really want to consider the NX to the NZ upgrade was how good the theater room is performing right now and wanting the video game perhaps in there some more. But then as I've actually have been gaming more in these last couple weeks, again, my son and I, we've put probably 15 hours into Ratchet and Clank, I think, to get to the point that we're at in the game. That's all been in the living room. And it just makes it, I mean, we jump in, sometimes we play for a half hour or 45 minutes. It's just so much easier to do that in the living room. And really, as long as the controllers are working and the PC is out of the way, I don't have to look at it. I don't have to listen to its fans and its noise and all that stuff. Honestly, gaming in the living room is a better experience. The panel looks better. The panel will always play better. Playing at high frame rates creates less input latency and all that, which makes me a better gamer overall. And just the gameplay experience is so crisp and so tight that, in fact, rather than worrying about upgrading the theater for gaming, I almost want to just upgrade the living room more for gaming. And that really boils down essentially to going bigger and bigger on the screen size up there. So we'll see what comes to pass. That's where we're at with the projector decision. I'll toss out there as well. I wonder if anybody did any Black Friday shopping. Did you buy any AV gear, any electronics or anything like that over the long weekend? Being sick as I wasn't even inclined to like pick up my phone, use my laptop, look at a screen. Saturday, I didn't even do so. I just literally laid there in bed and kind of slept as much as I could on and off. Sunday going into like Cyber Monday, I didn't really buy anything physical, any real gear, nothing like that. I bought content. I did dip quite heavily into the Kaleidoscape Black Friday sale. Thanks to everybody that's used, of course, the $100 movie store credit referrals. I had those to be able to play with. I hope other folks that were able to use those and get them, had fun with them, buying some content on Black Friday as well. So I padded up my Kaleidoscape library quite nicely. They finally put the Studio Ghibli movies on sale, so I bought the entire 20 movie set of those. They were all half off, $9.99 a piece. First time that they'd gone on sale. Really appreciated that. And I realized I hadn't actually bought content into my iTunes library too much in a while. And so, of course, Apple is the king. iTunes is the king of content sales. Movies down to $4.99 or thereabouts, or even less sometimes if you're buying the bundles instead. So I really caught up my iTunes library, even more so than I did the Kaleidoscape library. So that's really where I spent my Black Friday money, was in content, mostly movies on the iTunes side, a couple of TV series as well, some classic cartoons and things like that I just wanted to have available in my digital library. So that's where my shopping focus was. Maybe, again, if I hadn't been sick, I would have spent a little more time shopping. But sound off in the comments. Let me know if you bought anything. Did you find any great deals on stuff? There were so many discounts and markdowns and sales, including discounts on a lot of brands that don't traditionally discount too much. I'm really intrigued to see if, like, from a business and an economic perspective, how this whole holiday season ends up working out. I almost feel too that like there was a lot of discounting, but I don't feel that there was a lot of buying actually going on. And I say that because I was paying attention to some other collectible areas and things like that where, let's say in some premium collectible hobbies and markets, there were also a lot of markdowns, and I saw some polls like, did you buy? And it was like 90% no, 10% yes. So we'll see. We'll see where the whole economic factor of this holiday season ends up So I don't want to make this too long, but I did want to kind of check in on different facets and elements of things, pick up some of the threads of discussion and content that I've had on the channel lately. I'm looking forward to knocking out a litany of videos, getting back on to the micro vlog short kind of train. A whole bunch of stuff that I want to kick out. I want to do the dedicated SVS SB16 subwoofer review video. I want to talk more about using the PC in a counselized way, PlayStation controllers on PC, as well as a bunch of videos around the types of questions and dialogue and stuff that we often have in the comments, things relating to like setting up your system, how some of those logistics and stuff work as well. And we're kind of still waiting too for what will be the final Apple tvOS 17.2 firmware release, OS release for the Apple TV. I wonder if we'll see that before Christmas or if it'll go off, probably might even go off into the new year at this point. I've been paying attention. There's been additional beta releases, but I haven't noticed anything significantly changed around the Apple TV app, and the iTunes movies and TV show apps continue to remain present in the beta releases. So it'll be interesting to see with 17.2, do they totally wipe those away? And hopefully some of the things that I've said and fed back about the Apple TV app for 17.2 get picked up in the final release. Otherwise, yeah, my wife and I continue to roll through the final season of Better Call Saul. Big cliffhanger moment just happened. I can't wait to watch a few more episodes of that. We're into the back half. Let's just say somebody that wasn't expecting to get shot in a certain scene just got shot. And we were both had an audible like, whoa, when that went off. So yeah, stay tuned to the channel. Let me know what you want to see. Gonna have a strong December, I hope. But yeah, stay tuned. Come on back for more home theater discussion and fun. Thanks so much.